Hey guys, it's Green Zero here with another Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath video commentary. Today we're going to be going through the new and revised 1v1 map pack. It's only the new maps we'll be going through, of course, or the revised ones. Not all of them, I've already seen most of them, so we're going to go through the new ones. Stay tuned, they're coming right up. Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Green Zero here with another Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath video. We're going to be going through some of the new maps now, and this one here is Asteroid Battleground. It hasn't seen very much popularity at all in its current form, and it has been revised somewhat here. It was very choky, very difficult. I really did not like playing on it, but Predator's seen that and he's obviously changed it. He's very good with his maps. He develops them quite a lot. So you start off over here, right next to this big gaping hole where space is. So this is really cool in the sense that it seems like you're on like an actual asteroid which is floating around. So this is Asteroid Battleground. You start with a medium-sized field here. There's some area to build around. There's a lot of space up here, and there's a pathway up there. Bridges here as well. We're going to go through it slowly. You've got a safe spike, which is right here. Just follow me on the radar up here as well, so you can just see where I'm going. There's another bridge entrance there. Your expansion is down here. There's a back way to it as well, just for harassment later on. Map doesn't really favor harassment that much of either the ground. It's mainly going to be the air. Another medium-sized green field here. More bridges linking the center. And again, down here we've got a bridge or a land bridge that links the dry blue Tiberium field. And there is one in the top as well. I'm just going to jump straight up there. It's there as well. And you can see it is linked by an even thinner area. And then in the middle, you've got all these bridges which coalesced into this center area. There is a garrison there and an EMP control center, and look at all the detail that's been put into this map and what's underneath here. You got all these V-35s. He loves his V-35s on the landing pads, and it is just pretty crazy. He spends a lot of time making these maps, and again, it's very nice to look at, but to play on, it's a little bit difficult with all this glass sometimes. Works on Torment Undergrounds, works on Asteroid Outpost, but on Asteroid Battleground, it's a new story. These ships look pretty cool here that are docked, and of course, it does join to the bottom as well. So there's 3 bridges on the left-hand side, a top one, a bottom one, and the same is mirrored on the other side. Everything's the same on the other side. Your allies, or your opponents, sorry, expansion field, their spike, and of course they start just here. There's no MCV here because it's just a replay, and of course the same is mirrored there. There's a lot of fancy stuff to look at, but you're not really going to be paying too much attention to that while you're fighting. But yeah, time will tell if it does catch on. My personal opinion, probably not. The first iteration was pretty unpopular. This one here is probably going to join suit just because of the visuals on the map. It can be difficult to fight on this map, but it was interesting and experimental nonetheless, and it was a very good job by Predator nonetheless. So that is Asteroid Battlegrounds. Hope you enjoyed that one. We're going to move on to the next map in the map pool. Okay guys, welcome back. This map here is called Battlebase Beaverton, and I believe it is taken from Red Alert 3, so they've remade it in Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath. Now this map actually looks quite good, but I think it does need a little bit of work, but we're going to go through it anyway. So it is a 1v1 map. It kind of feels like a 2v2 to be honest, just having a look around, but you start in the top right. It's diagonal spawn, so the other player's in the bottom left, and you've got your Tiberium field here, pretty average size here. You've got it's basically like a big dock area, helipads, wind turbines here, things like that. If we go around here, you've got the edge of your base. There's a nice safe spike up the back here, very well protected. Some shipping there as well. There is an entrance over here to another spike which is easily capturable. This area here has 2 land bridges connecting it as well. Again, just keep an eye on where I'm going around here and you'll see what I mean. A few structures here. These ones here are garrison. This one here is not. The same can be said over here. There is an EMP control center on this kind of bricky area over here. Most of these I think are just put here just for ground assaults, and I mean Nod will probably have a field day with those, but it's a pretty open map, but in the center it's got choky as well. Your expansion base is over here. Now this is actually quite far away. If you look at where your main is, you've got to cross all of that terrain just to get to your expansion, and it's the only one. Look how big the map is. I think that could be an issue. It's so big that there's actually not enough Tiberium on it to do what you need to do, and the expansion's quite far away. They could easily put another field on it, maybe change one of these islands to support the field. The enemy has their spike over here as well. The same is mirrored, but just diagonally. Their spike is over here. They will begin in the bottom left hand side, just here, just up here, and the same is mirrored again. They have the same island here with the bridges and the EMP control center. Their expansion is located there. The map looks very nice, and I think it'll play very well. It's just I think they either need to put more Tiberium fields on it, turn it into a 2v2, or they need to condense the map, because these areas here are big and open and sprawling and wide. There's 2 blue fields that aren't grown in the middle. one there and one there, so they can leech those on their way to the expansion. I guess they could build a harvester, go to the blue, and then dock at the expansion. That could be a very popular strategy on this level, but the top is relatively easily defendable. I mean, you've got these big wide ramps, which people very much love, but they're easy to defend as well if you've got the high ground. But again, once the blue's exhausted, it won't have much strategic advantage, I don't think. But pros, obviously, I like the layout of the map. It looks very nice. It will play on very well. But cons, either need some more Tiberium or it needs to be made smaller for a 1v1. So I think this map will definitely be very popular, but it needs a little bit of work. But that's Battlebase Beaverton. And stay tuned, we're going to jump into the next map. We'll be coming right up. Okay guys, welcome back to Disputed Arena, another new map. This one here also not produced by Predator, but we're going to jump into it anyway. I think it is taken from Command & Conquer 4, so another one that's brought across, made for Kane's Wrath, so it should be interesting. But I've had a look around on this map here, and we start obviously diagonal somewhat spawns. One guy's on the other side of the map down here, and then you're located up here. So you have a medium-sized tib field to start with. This area is very flat and open, like really flat. There's actually nothing back here at all. There's a safe spike right there. You can take that very easily. If we whip across to the other side, there's not much here. There is an expansion field up on this plateau area here. A few garrisons to help defend that. And let's actually zoomed out really far, or is that just the health bars? Could just be me. But another spike is located over here. Pretty easy to get. And there's your expansion field. If we move into the middle of the map, there is an EMP control center here. So that's pretty much the map on the left-hand side. It is mirrored. There's nothing up here at all. It's just a bit of terrain, things like that. Surprisingly, a lot of detail placed on this area where you can't actually get to. And then down here, it's just the same thing scaled back. And that is a big criticism of this map. Nothing looks like it would really exist in real life. This cliff is obviously just copied. It's the same tile set there and there and there everywhere. And down here, as I noticed as well, this cliff does not look natural at all. It's just basically a big line with the same thing copy pasted. So again, not made by Predator, so obviously it's a more amateur map maker. That there as well, again, it just doesn't blend. There's not a lot of detail on the map here. There's a tower that seems to be randomly placed in the middle of nowhere here. Like, sure, it can probably cover this whole area here, but it just seems no point taking that. The enemy's got so many other paths to go down. There is a dry blue tib field here. The same can be said for the other side of the map. There's a dry blue tib field there, and there should be a tower down here as well. There is. Maybe it's just to protect their blue field. I don't know how well that's going to go down. But again, the same thing is mirrored. Again, these areas in the corner, a lot of detail and not accessible. And these roads down here don't seem to have much purpose either. But the map is very flat and open, not a lot of detail, not a lot of terrain. I'm being pretty critical of this map here. There's a bunker randomly placed here which doesn't really do anything. It's not in a very strategic location. The same can be said on the other side, but yeah, very flat, very open. There's a lot of areas which are just simply too big, like this area over here. Like, there's so much dead space of just nothingness over here. No one's going to drive around there. There's going to be like, there's a lot of the map here. I just don't think the real estate's used very well. I think the map was pretty much, it's obviously done by someone who's new to it, so I don't want to just destroy their dreams. For a first map, it's good. Predator needs to get his hands on this map and just fix it. They either need more Tiberium. I think they could just turn it into a 2v2, to be honest. They should turn it into a 2v2. It's not well designed for a 1v1, so again, I do apologize for obviously whoever is in charge of making this one here, but again, it's not really, not really hitting it for me. Again, other people might like it, so let the community decide. They'll obviously make the choice there, and I did run out of time on that one. So that's Disputed Arena, and we'll jump into the next one shortly. Hey guys, welcome back to another brand new map here. This is Forest Arena, which we have of course seen iterations of before. I believed it was heavily broken before. Some people like to play on it, but generally it was avoided. But we're back here again. Predator has realized obviously there's a few issues with this map, and he's redesigned it significantly. It's a low Tiberium map, but it's good size for it now, and I think it will be very interesting judging by the layout. I had a quick look around. So you spawn basically vertically, the other guy's in the top of the map. We start down the bottom. You have a medium-sized tib field here, a dry green field next to it. So that obviously becomes as like a source of income later on. Should you exceed your expansion, things like that, you can move back. It keeps the game going. But you have a nice safe spike in the corner here in this mountain area. And then if we whip across here, there is another spike here. So both spikes still retained. And the beautiful thing about Predator-based maps is that they just look so realistic. It looks like it's an actual place which belongs. He puts a lot of detail just in the ground as well. It's not all the same thing. It's got all this blending going on, all different types of grass, the road and the rocks. It's just, there's power lines and stuff here. And again, if you move up here, you can see the safe expansion, or the first expansion, which is intended for the bottom player. Funnily enough, the guard tower is not on the other side of the tib field. Maybe a bit too OP if it was there very early on to defend your expansion. Again, the other guy's expansion is over here, and then if you scroll up, the same is mirrored on the other side. So the other player will start here. They have their spike in the corner, and so on over there. Again, areas where you can move scouting units around, and of course counterattacks and things like that. In the middle as well, you've got the water is still here, but it's split, so there's a gap through here. Be careful moving stealth units through there, obviously, because they'll just run the trees down and people will see them. So, and again, just the incredible detail. I haven't gone through in a lot of other maps, but if you just look down here at this bushland, or this forest area, there's some of them like in the water and stuff like that, and it looks so pretty. And Predator makes his maps look like they could be a real place which exists in real life, and yeah, he's got to be very proud of that. But this map here, really, I think anything can work on it. Ground, air, infantry, push, base pushing, teching, everything can work on this map here. You got obviously two medium-sized tib fields each, and then you've got the other one which grows. Obviously, it'll grow while you're expanding as well, and you can harvest it. But this should be a very nice map, I think. I think it's been a huge turnaround to what it was before, and I can't wait to play on this map. This is Forest Arena. Of course, stay tuned. We're going to go through the next map now, but very much looking forward to this one. Okay guys, here we are on another remade map here. It's Pipeline Problems has been turned into Pipeline Nightmares, and this one here is definitely very interesting. It's one of those push maps, but of course it's basically Pipeline Problems redesigned to be a somewhat night map. You start, of course, down here, 1v1, of course, the other guy starts in the top. You should be familiar with Pipeline Problems. You've got your main base here, pretty nicely sized green tib field. The spike still exists here, so does the mutant hovel. Probably not much point getting that, but you do get the Tiberium spike is still there. And if you go over to the other side, normally there'd be a blue tib field here, but he's replaced it with a medium-sized green tib field. Little gap here just to let harassment units out if they come down the side. Nod's going to enjoy that, of course. But very easy to take, very securable expansion. It's backed in basically in a corner, so very easy to defend there. If we scroll up here, we can see this area's been opened up. There is a gap here now where you can drive up, take the towers. Towers are in a kind of somewhat okay position still because there is a green tib field just here, and there is a spike instead of an EMP control center, which has been moved over here. Another gap here to get yourself up there, but basically this is going to be the push field because it's one of those 5 green field maps. Ultimately, someone's going to end up not getting the middle field. That's going to be important in this game here, but there are of course 2 blue tib fields here that you can leech them, so I think people are going to be going here, building their eco, expanding to here, and then leeching the blue tib that's over here before making that final push for this one here. But a lot of tactics can work on this map. It's a very high intensity map, just because it does have that contested field, and ultimately if players survive through the mid game into the late game, they're going to have to fight for that and push. The same is mirrored up the top. Again, not much more I can say about this map here. It is basically Pipeline Problems. Blue's been replaced with green. The middle has been opened up a little bit more, and the green tip field's been moved here. These towers, of course, could fire down at the enemy base, which is going to be a pain, so players might utilize that. And of course, having an extra spike is also good. But again, at the same time, I can see people trying to leech both blue tib fields, get super greedy and try to leech both of them, but it's really a leeching situation here. A lot of space here to move around, so obviously it's separating itself from this green tib field, so you can't just cover the whole area. But anyway, that's Pipeline Nightmares. Looking forward to playing a few games on this one here. I haven't played on it yet. We'll have to see once it makes it into 1.02 plus, but what do you guys think about this map? I think it's looking pretty good, and I can't wait to play on it, but I'll see you guys in the next map. Okay guys, welcome back. We are on Tiberium Zone, and I didn't even realize that this map has been redesigned. I didn't actually mind its first iteration. It was actually quite good, but you can see they've changed the tile set. It is going to be looking a little bit more like Unsound Investment instead of the really black, burnt out charredness that you had before. But he's actually completely changed the Tiberium fields around as well. Predator has. So of course your opponent starts in the bottom side of the map, you start in the top. You have your standard green tib field here with, of course, back entrances over here. And, of course, the expansion field is actually down here now. It's actually in the middle of the map, and there's a lot of ways you can get in because there's obviously ledges and stuff here where units can drive up, and over here. The safe spike is still located here. That's the only tech structure aside from the mutant hovel, which no one's probably really going to get. Your next expansion is of course down here, but gathering where the Tiberium field is, you could actually go down to this one. It's going to be interesting to see which way players choose to expand there, because both of them seem to be somewhat far away. These tib fields here on the corners are obviously not grown yet. And even more interesting, there is a blue Tiberium field in the corner of each player here. Very easily defendable. It's like, I mean, of course, there's a lot of opportunity for the enemy to harass by driving across this side of the map, and the same on this side of the map as well to harass that. But it's definitely an interesting location of those blue Tiberium fields, and these guys are going to be pushed together pretty quickly here. But of course, there's enough dead space here, of course, to make that expansion worthwhile. That Tiberium is clustered pretty heavily as well. The Tiberium here is a bit more spread out, so he's obviously condensed these fields a bit more just to make building around the side and unit movement a bit better. But yeah, obviously a lot of entrances into the middle. There's a double entrance there, and then you've got the entrances over here and here. So the map is definitely going to play out significantly differently because of the location of the Tiberium fields. We'll have to see how that goes. Definitely looks pretty interesting, but there's a lot of Tiberium on the map. And of course, it's in a big Z. If you notice here, if we look on the radar, it's a big Z for Tiberium zone. So yeah, can't wait to play this map again. Hopefully it's a bit more popular now that the lighting is different, because a lot of people don't like dark lighting because they're like messed up eyes or some crap like that. But yeah, can't wait to see this map in action, and I really want to play on it again, so I hope it gets included in a lot more tournaments. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll move on to the next map. Okay guys, welcome back to Vertical Abyss. That's right, Vertical Abyss has been redesigned once again. Of course, you start opposite your opponent, who's in the top right corner. It is a 1v1 map. We have seen it before, but it has been expanded. They made it wider horizontally because it was pretty thin. Shadow teams and orcas were, oh my god, they were so overpowered on this map, and you could pretty much win straight away. But basically, there's no spike up there anymore. You have a open up area to the bridge, which is repaired over here, which goes to the back of the enemy base. You have your tib field here, and your spike is located just here, safe spike. You do have a garrison here now, and that's because there's another bridge. There's a secondary bridge which goes straight through the center to the enemy base, who of course has a garrison as well. That is actually damaged. Is that one damaged? Yeah, I was just not paying attention. So the top bridge is repaired now, which goes to the top area, and the middle bridge is repaired. So Russians, look out. That's probably going to cause some problems for you guys. But the blue tib field is still dry in the middle, and you still have to drive all the way down this chasm, which is going to be dangerous, because if you get in there and the enemy kind of starts camping it, you can't get out. So that could be pretty dangerous. Your expansion field is nice and close. Average size green field. You've got your next expansion, which goes down here. It's like a reverse tournament underground. You expand parallel to one another. And of course, you've got, if we move that around here, you've got this area here. There's a few gaps just for, you know, probably mainly favoring Nod there with stealth tanks, cloak reckoners, maybe pitbulls for GDI and things like that. Mechas to move around and behind these areas as well. And of course, you've got the contested Tiberium spike here. The contested Tiberium spike does have a few garrisons located around it. GDI, pretty easy to get that straight away, unless you get against a scrin faction who's all out screening with buzzers. But the same is mirrored on the other side. So you got your tib field there, still a garrison here, and of course it's mirrored up along here. So pretty straightforward standard in terms of the actual layout. But of course the whole twist is having this verticalness in the middle here with the two bridges, and the blue Tiberium is really what makes this map pretty unique in its fighting here. A lot of players will drive through this area to fight one another at their expansions here. So again, now that these options here are fully available to everyone, it's going to be a real problem for them. Note the bridge is very badly damaged, so you could easily try to destroy that with some units. Again, once the bridge section is down, looks like that one is the most damaged bridge section right there. Do these guys have another bridge section that's there? Yeah, those two bridge sections appear to be the most damaged, so shoot one of those and you cut the whole bridge off. Same is probably said for the top there. But anyway, that's Vertical Abyss. I hope you all enjoyed that one there. That's our ranked 1v1 new maps or reiterations, and I'll probably come back later on to do 2v2 maps. But for now, that's the 1v1, and I'll see you all in the next video.